Beneath the shadow of London's iconic skyline, a fortress stands, whispering tales of blood and terror, the Tower of London. This imposing structure, a testament to the might and power of a bygone era, has a story as dark and complex as the stone from which it was carved. The Tower of London, or White Tower as it was originally known, was the brainchild of William the Conqueror. This formidable Norman king who claimed England's throne in the 11th century sought to build a royal palace that would not only project his power, but also serve as an undeniable symbol of his authority. The tower's initial purpose was to embody the strength of the new Norman rule, a demonstration of power that would leave no doubt about who was in charge. But as time marched on, the tower's purpose began to evolve. It ceased to be a royal palace and morphed into something far more sinister. Its grand halls and opulent chambers, once filled with the laughter and merriment of courtly life, were repurposed into dark and damp cells. The Tower of London, once a monument to regal authority, had transformed into a prison. And it was not just any prison. The Tower of London became a place of execution, a final destination for those who dared to cross the crown. Its once bustling courtyards were now silent, save for the ominous sound of the executioner's axe. The tower's transformation was complete. What had once been a symbol of royal power had become a monument to fear and death. As the tower's purpose darkened, so did the stories that echoed through its stone walls. Tales of betrayal, intrigue, and death began to seep into the very fabric of the building, creating a chilling narrative that continues to haunt us to this day. But these are not just stories. They are echoes of a past that refuses to be forgotten, a testament to the tower's dark beginnings. Within these cold, foreboding walls, a queen met a tragic end. Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. Anne Boleyn, a woman of wit and charm, rose from being a lady-in-waiting to become the Queen of England. Her marriage to King Henry VIII was a scandal that rocked the foundations of the Church, leading to the creation of the Church of England. But this ambitious queen's reign was short-lived. In May of 1536, Anne was arrested on charges of high treason against her husband, the king. Accused of adultery, incest, and plotting to murder the king himself, her fate was sealed. Despite her pleas of innocence, she was sentenced to death. Her execution, a grim spectacle, was carried out within the tower's chilling walls. The executioner, a French swordsman, beheaded Anne, marking a tragic end to her turbulent journey. But it seems that death was not the ultimate end for Anne Boleyn. Her spirit, it is said, still lingers within the tower. Sightings of her headless apparition have been reported time and again, wandering the cold stone corridors of the tower. Her ghost is often seen near the site of her execution, the infamous Tower Green. Night guards and visitors alike have reported chilling encounters with Anne's ghost. Dressed in a gown of the Tudor period, she is seen carrying her severed head under her arm, wandering aimlessly in the dead of the night. Her spectral figure, it is said, exudes an aura of deep sorrow and regret, a chilling reminder of her tragic end. Perhaps it's Anne's undying love for her daughter, the future Queen Elizabeth I, that binds her to this world. Or perhaps it is her quest for justice, her desire to tell her side of the story, that keeps her spirit from finding peace. Anne Boleyn, forever bound to the tower in death, haunts the place of her tragic end. Her haunting is a chilling testament to the tower's dark past, a spectral reminder of a queen wronged, a story of ambition, power, and a tragic fall from grace. Two innocent lives, trapped in the stone fortress, their fate a chilling mystery, the princes in the tower. The year is 1483. England is under the rule of King Edward IV, when a grim tale unfolds within the formidable walls of the Tower of London. The king's young sons, Edward V, a mere child of 12, and his brother, Richard of York, only 10, are declared illegitimate by their ambitious uncle, Richard III. With a calculated move, Richard usurps the throne, and the young princes, rightful heirs to England's crown, find themselves prisoners in the tower. As days turn into weeks and weeks into months, the princes are seldom seen. until one day they vanish. Gone without a trace, their fate remains one of history's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. Their disappearance casts a shadow over the tower, and soon eerie tales begin to circulate. Whispered accounts of spectral sightings seep from the tower's stone walls. The apparitions of two young boys, dressed in white gowns, their faces etched with fear and sorrow. They are seen huddled together, as if seeking comfort in each other's presence. Some witnesses recount seeing them clutching each other, their spectral forms shimmering in the moonlight as they wander the tower's cold stone corridors. Others speak of hearing their soft whispers, echoing through the silent halls, their words lost to time. Their ghostly figures are often seen in the White Tower, near the staircase where a shocking discovery was made in the 17th century. A wooden chest was unearthed, holding the small, delicate bones of two children, believed to be the remains of the lost princes. Their tragic tale continues to be a poignant reminder of the ruthless power struggles of England's past. The princes' spirits, it seems, are forever bound to the tower, their innocence stolen, their lives cut short. Their apparitions, a chilling testament to their unresolved fate, continue to haunt the historic fortress, forever trapped within its stone walls. The lost souls of the princes still search for escape from their eternal prison. A woman of nobility, victim to a gruesome fate, Margaret Pole, the Countess of Salisbury. Now here's a tale that chills the blood. Margaret Pole, a woman of royal blood, was caught in the crossfire of religious and political upheaval. Her crime? Opposition to Henry VIII's church reforms. Her punishment? A most horrifying execution in the year 1541. The story goes that Margaret was no meek damsel. On the day of her execution, she refused to lay her head on the block, declaring she was no traitor. What followed was a botched execution, a spectacle of horror and cruelty. The inexperienced axeman, in his haste and panic, struck Margaret multiple times before her life was finally extinguished. But as with many who meet a violent end within the tower's cold stone walls, death wasn't the end of Margaret's story. There are tales, whispered in hushed tones, of a spectral figure seen running through the tower's grounds. A ghostly woman, her head held high, pursued by a phantom axeman. Witnesses have reported hearing the echo of desperate footsteps, the sharp sound of steel slicing through the air, and a woman's defiant cry. This is the ghost of Margaret Pole, forever trapped in her final moments, destined to relive her gruesome end over and over again. The Countess, in her spectral form, is a symbol of the tower's bloody past, a reminder of the lives claimed in the name of power and faith. In the still of the night, when the Tower of London stands as a silent sentinel against the city's modern skyline, one can't help but feel a chill. The echoes of the past seem to reverberate through the ancient stones, and the air feels heavy with the weight of history. It's in these moments that the ghost of Margaret Pole is said to make her appearance, her phantom footsteps a chilling reminder of her fate. Margaret's spirit, forever frozen in her final terrifying moments, continues to relive her fate. The Tower of London, steeped in history and haunted by its past, keeps the memory of Margaret Pole alive, a spectral echo of a time long past. A spectral figure, cloaked in sorrow and mystery, the White Lady of the White Tower. As the heart of the Tower of London, the White Tower has borne witness to centuries of history, but amongst all its tales, one spectral presence seems to have made the most lasting impression. Her appearances, though rare, have been etched into the tower's lore. Witnesses describe a lady draped in white, often seen waving from a window of the White Tower. Her identity remains unknown, her story untold, yet her presence undeniable. Her ghostly figure, cloaked in a white garment, has become a symbol of the tower's haunted past. The sightings of this apparition are often accompanied by an unidentified but distinct perfume. This sweet, lingering scent has become her spectral signature, a haunting reminder of her presence. It's as though she's trying to communicate, reaching out across the centuries, her scent a silent whisper in the stone corridors of the tower. But who is this White Lady? A queen, a victim, a forgotten soul. Her identity is shrouded in mystery as thick as the London fog, yet her sorrow, her longing seems to seep through the stone walls of the tower. a chilling testament to the tower's darker past. Many theories have been spun around her identity. Some suggest she was a noblewoman, perhaps a queen, who met a tragic end within these walls. Others believe she may be a forgotten victim, her story lost to the sands of time, her spirit forever bound to the tower. Despite the mystery, the White Lady continues to captivate the imaginations of those who hear her tale. Her spectral figure, her mysterious perfume, and her silent wave from the window of the White Tower have become part of the tower's haunted tapestry. The White Lady, an eternal resident, forever overlooks her ancient kingdom. As we delve deeper into the Tower of London's ghostly history, we're left to wonder who she was, what she wants, and why she continues to haunt the White Tower. But perhaps that's a story for another time. Not all souls that wander the tower are human. The Phantom Menagerie. The Tower of London, for centuries, was home to more than just royal figures and prisoners. It also served as a royal menagerie, a place where kings and queens housed their collection of exotic animals from all corners of the globe. From the early 13th century, the tower's menagerie was brimming with a variety of creatures. Lions, leopards and bears, oh my, even elephants and kangaroos called the tower home. The menagerie was a symbol of royal power and prestige, a testament to the monarch's reach that extended far beyond the British Isles. However, this grand display of exoticism had a darker side. The animals, far from their native habitats, often lived in poor conditions, unfamiliar with the cold, damp stone of the tower. Their lives were filled with stress and uncertainty, their deaths often cruel and untimely. It is perhaps no surprise then that tales of ghostly animals wandering the tower's grounds have been whispered through the ages. The most notable of these spectral beasts is the phantom bear. This spectral creature has been known to appear in the Martin Tower, and its presence is anything but benign. One night, a guard, making his rounds, came face to face with the phantom bear. The guard, thinking the beast was real, lunged at it with his bayonet. The weapon passed through the apparition, leaving the guard in a state of terror. It's said that the poor man died of fright just a few days later, a chilling testament to the phantom bear's terrifying presence. These spectral animals, much like the human spirits of the tower, seem trapped within its stone walls. Their ghostly roars and growls echo through the night, a chilling reminder of the tower's past as a royal menagerie. Even in death, the beasts of the tower continue to roam its grounds. Their spectral presences serve as a haunting reminder of the tower's past, a past filled with grandeur, cruelty, and the uncanny. Even in the silence of the night, the phantom menagerie comes alive, filling the darkness with echoes of a time long past. The Tower of London, a monument to history and to horror. As we delve deeper into the shadowy past of this iconic fortress, we find ourselves in the company of spectral royals, the echoes of their tragic fates resonating through the centuries. Recall the haunting of Anne Boleyn, the once queen who met a grisly end at the hands of her husband, King Henry VIII. Today, her ethereal presence lingers, her apparition reportedly seen wandering near the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula, carrying her severed head under her arm. Then, we have the chilling tale of the princes in the tower. Edward and Richard, two young heirs to the throne, mysteriously vanished within these stone walls, their fate remaining one of England's darkest mysteries. Their ghosts are said to still roam the tower, their childish laughter echoing through the silent halls. We cannot forget the ghost of Margaret Pole, the Countess of Salisbury. Despite her royal lineage, she was not spared from a brutal execution. Her spirit reportedly haunts the Tower Green, endlessly reliving her final, desperate moments. The White Lady of the White Tower, an elusive spectre whose perfume-laden presence often precedes her appearance, adds a touch of spectral elegance to our ghostly gallery. Her mournful gaze from the window of the White Tower has sent shivers down the spines of countless witnesses. Lastly, we revisit the Phantom Menagerie, a collection of spectral animals from the tower's time as a royal zoo. From ghostly lions to ethereal monkeys, these spectral creatures add another layer to the tower's haunted history. Each story, each spectral presence, adds a chilling chapter in the tower's long and turbulent history. The stone walls, the silent witnesses to countless stories of power, betrayal, and tragedy, continue to harbor these spectral inhabitants, their tales forever woven into the very fabric of this historic fortress. The Tower of London, a fortress of stone, a palace of ghosts, its haunted history forever etched into the heart of London.